live on both? Perfect. All right, guys, it's that time of the week. This is Breaking Brews, episode 4. I'm your host, Michu2.
And I'm your co-host, Lauren Olivia.
That's what I'm talking about. Every single week. The crowd gets bigger and bigger every single week.
It does.
Boom. See, they love us. They love Lauren.
Good energy.
We got a good crowd here tonight. I think this is the most people we've had here for an episode. So we're breaking records and breaking brews. So yeah, never said I was good at jokes. All right. So what are you drinking, Lauren?
I am drinking the Solar Flare with green kratom, my go-to.
And of course, I'm drinking one of my favorites, drinking a watermelon mitra. Can't go wrong. Last week was some of my favorite drinks that we had here.
Yeah, no, Tiave is really good.
Right now, they're out of dragon fruit syrup, so I couldn't make my Mikey special. But hey, always take a mitra. Actually, this week at the end of the episode, we're going to be having the owner of Tiave Teas. He's going to come on here and talk with us a little bit. So that's a little fun thing we're going to be shooting out to you guys today.
For that.
So, Lauren, what you been up to?
Well, I went to New Orleans this past weekend for a Sleeping with Sirens concert, and that was super awesome. I went to their after party, and it was just a good time. Good food, good people. Dude,
I want to go to New Orleans so bad. Lauren asked me, she asked me the day before, she's like, do you want to go to New Orleans? Yeah. I was like, I would love nothing more, but I had so much going on. I think actually I had a show that night in New Smyrna, which that show went really great. Thank you, Kava Java, for having us out there. It went really well. Got to meet a lot of new faces out there. How about you? Did you meet anybody new out there?
I did. I met Donate Your Friends, which is a band out there, and they actually just opened for Jimmy Eat World.
Really?
So, yeah, it was
I think
cool.
I saw that. They were at, it was a music festival, right?
They had won a contest, I believe, and then that's how they got to open for them.
Gotcha,
yeah,
okay.
Super nice people, good group.
I've seen Sleeping with Sirens. I saw them at Rockville 2 years ago. And then I saw a live they did like an online concert back when I was in middle school, which is really cool. I was really into them back when I was around 13, 14, 15. But yeah, so you went out to New Orleans. Did you drive or did you fly? You flew. I drove you. I drove you to the airport, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't even remember yesterday.
Who did you fly with?
Frontier.
How was that?
I love those cheap airlines.
Hey, listen, if you're not looking to pack any checked bags and you're not really cared too much about your safety or
I think it's fun.
Yeah, hey, honestly, you get to live on the edge.
Yeah.
Well,
those pilots have been flying for so many hours, it doesn't they do maintenance on the aircrafts. It was fine. Honestly, if I'm flying long distance, I'll fly Delta. But if it's a short flight, I'll just go ahead and pick Spirit or Frontier. But
it really is. It's a choice between Delta or Frontier. Really, I don't know. They're both budget airlines. Mm-hmm. One thing I heard is that Southwest, which was their big selling point, was you get to pick your seat no matter what ticket you have.
Yeah.
They're doing away with that, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
so that's gonna take a lot of hit.
I like the fact that Southwest lets you check 2 full bags in underneath the plane. Yeah. But you also pay the price for that within the ticket. I can go in Spirit and get under $100 ticket and just fly wherever I want. I'm pretty sure I flew to Chicago for $80.
One time, whenever I was a kid, so I used to fly a lot whenever I was a kid, back and forth from Pittsburgh to Florida, going back and forth between the farm and my family. One time, so I used to fly a lot alone, and my parents would pick me up and drop me off at the airport. I flew alone, and it was St. Patrick's Day that I was down there. It was,
oh my gosh.
I think it wasn't harvest season, it was planting season. And I flew back, and there was a pamphlet in my seat pocket. I never check them, but inside it was 100,000 free miles to fly with Spirit Airlines. It was for a St. Patrick's Day promo.
Oh,
and I got the only one in the entire company, and they let me keep it.
Wait, you're kidding.
Yeah, the only one.
That's
and it was,
awesome.
Dude, it was crazy. And I used that. I flew to Rochester, New York. I flew to Pittsburgh twice. And then I think I flew to Hawaii once.
That with all those?
Yeah, with all those.
That's insane.
So the way their miles work is it isn't actually miles, it's more like a point system. Mm-hmm. But it was really cool. That was probably one of the I was maybe 11 at that time.
I kid you not though, I flew to New Orleans at the beginning of summer in May, and I took Delta out there.
Yeah.
And then I flew Spirit to Chicago, and I honestly enjoyed Spirit more.
Did you say you flew Frontier or Delta this time?
This time I used Frontier. It's kind of but when I got on the Spirit aircraft, it was a brand new aircraft. They were super speedy. We got there about 30 minutes early. I don't know. I just had a better experience flying Spirit than Delta, and I couldn't believe it. So.
Yeah, I love flying. Flying's probably my favorite thing. One really cool thing this podcast is going to be able to do is not this week, but next week, we are flying from Vero Beach to St. Pete. There's somebody in the kava community that has a plane, and he's a pilot, and he's going to be taking...
We love you, Richie.
Yeah, we love you, Richie. We're going to be bringing Tyler, Corbin, one of the owners here at Nocturne Teas, and myself, and it's going to be so much fun. We're going out there. We're going to interview Corbin in a moving plane. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
It's going to be really great.
But
what?
Richie better take care of you guys. I swear the plane goes down with 4 of my best friends.
Hey, don't tell him he's right here. Don't tell him. No, yeah. I was telling Gage earlier, I said we're going to pack parachutes, and we're going to pack one with an anvil in it just for you, Corbin. So then whenever you land into the ground like a Looney Tunes character, you'll pop up out of that giant hole in the ground, and then the anvil, you'll stick your head up out of the hole, and the anvil will hit your head, and then a 3-inch lump will just raise the anvil off your head. Just like that. That's how physics works. Kids, don't try this at home.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into this first round. I think I'm probably the most interested about our last topic for the this or that round.
Yeah,
so this is a segment we like to call This or That. This is where we get involved with the people here in the community. Like I always say every episode, I consider this the people's podcast. I like to get everybody involved as much as possible. So how this works is every single episode, me and Lauren talk about 3 separate topics. Which would we rather do, or which do we like better? And then we ask the people out in the crowd what they're thinking, and they get to come up here and be part of the podcast.
Yeah, it's great to hear what you guys have to say.
So the first segment for This or That, the first round is going to be, which do you like better, Xbox or PS5? So anybody out there in the crowd, if you want to be a part of this, the topic is, which do you like better, PS5s or Xboxes?
I'll let you go first. Which one?
Okay. So honestly, I have almost a connection with a little bit of every console except for PlayStations. So the first console I ever had was a GameCube, and it just...
So we're going way back.
Even to this day, it is still one of my favorite consoles, but if I had to choose between Xbox or PS5, I'd have to say Xbox. And now I'm saying Xbox post Microsoft buyout, because Microsoft... Everything's connected through Microsoft.
Yeah.
So
it's easy to set up.
Yeah.
It's
so
a very
the
clean
YouTube
layout.
My Microsoft account is hooked up through my Xbox. It's hooked up through Minecraft. It's hooked up through a lot of my...
It's just like the layout and the operating system is clean. It's easy for people to navigate. Everything's right there. However, my first what do you call these
console?
things? My first console was an Xbox. And I did enjoy it for about a year, and then I got bored because they don't have as many games as
I will say that. So
a PS5 would.
The PlayStations always seem to have the best exclusive games. PlayStation has Spider-Man. Dude, here's the thing is, I bought a PS5 just to play Spider-Man, and then as soon as I was done playing it, I sold the PS5. They also have the God of War series. Originally, they only had Crash Bandicoot, and Crash Bandicoot was my favorite game. I used to, my babysitter had a PlayStation 2, and Crash Bandicoot was on the PlayStation.
What was the one game with the car? Is that Horizon or Verizon?
Horizon.
Horizon, that's
Horizons
what I thought.
isn't, I don't think that's, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Horizons is specifically Xbox only.
No,
but it is included in Game Pass.
But that was my favorite game to play.
Now, I will say, although there are better games on PlayStation, Xbox always has the better, so they have something called Game Pass, where you can get, I think it's something like 1,000 games. I can get Minecraft, all the Horizon games were on it, most of the Lego games, Skyrim was on it.
But what was that thing you would have to pay monthly for in order to use your Xbox?
Xbox Live, Xbox Live was so you could play with other people online.
Okay.
But if you bought the Game Pass, it came with all those games, and it came with Xbox Live. So, I mean, you really can't go wrong. It really was multiplayer oriented. Now, the greatest video game I think I've ever played. Okay, it's probably a tie. It's a 3-way tie. Jack and Ratchet. Jack and Ratchet, I think. It was a PlayStation exclusive. It was the guy with the elf ears and the blonde hair. Am I saying it right? No, not
That
Ratchet
sounds
and Clank.
like Legend
No,
of
it's
Zelda.
called Jack and... So the character that was in Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter. Thank you. See, that's why I'm glad we do this live, so I don't look like an idiot for more than 30 seconds. It's Jack and Daxter, and it was one of the best games. Actually, fun fact, my babysitter is actually a tattoo artist now here in Brevard. It's Jordan. I'm gonna look up. I'll put it down. Here when I go through editing. I'll plug your Instagram. But Jordan actually gave me the tattoo I have right here of the frog with the human ear. Super great tattoo. What else? So like I said, Xbox has a better online and like multiplayer feel to it.
Honestly, I'm just a PC player. I always have been.
Okay, now that's the thing is I am a PC player, so I love PC. It's because there's so much you can mod. Like I love Skyrim, and just being able to make Skyrim even more expansive. Like I could spend 300 hours on Skyrim, and then an extra 1,000 if you add mods.
Yeah.
Like there was a Harry Potter mod I played. It was crazy.
Yeah, my go-to was always CS:GO, like a first-person shooter.
That was the first PC game I ever played. Next to like the ones like Club Penguin and like games like that, but like actual video games that you had to pay for. That was my first one. You can't go wrong with it.
What was that one on Steam with like the little Furbies?
Neopets?
No, it wasn't Neopets. Gosh, this is gonna drive me
Webkins?
crazy. It was kind of like a haunted Furby game.
I don't know. Dude,
That's
I was
gonna
into
drive me
I was
crazy.
into Webkins, Club Penguin, Free Realms, and Neopets.
No, I used to have a YouTube channel.
And Pop Tropica.
I used to have a
Pop
YouTube
Tropica was the
channel
stuff.
back in the day, and I'm about to expose myself right now. But I used to do like Let's Play videos for Minecraft, Roblox.
I did that too. I feel like
and-
everybody in their life has done a Minecraft Let's Play
Dude,
video.
No,
Even
I
this
used
one.
to grind Animal Jam. Like that was my shit.
Man, I love, dude. Here's the thing is like I don't play a lot of video games, but like the few that I do play really do like I have such core memories. Like anytime I'm playing Minecraft and I hear the do like it unlocks like I can remember there were times where I'd sit on my iPad in my living room and
I've been seeing TikToks come up where it's talking about how we used to all turn on Chill Nation while we used to play our games on YouTube to listen to music.
Dude, that's crazy.
I'm like, that's a core memory unlocking right there.
I will say I was very early in the game with the music, with iPods and stuff. I think I got my first iPod whenever I was 5 or 6, and like, dude, music really changed my life. Like once I discovered music.
I was always getting in trouble. I like secretly downloaded Skype so I could talk to people in games, and like my mom would freak out and she'd think like people are coming to
I could
steal
only
me.
imagine how that went in your house.
It was bad.
Well, all right, guys. Is there anybody out there that wants to be part of this conversation? Which do we like better, Xbox or PS5? Come on up here. So Jules is going to be our first here. Jules, come this way. Yeah, come around. So Jules is probably one of my favorite people in the kava community.
I'll let her sit in my spot.
Perfect. Jules always wears the sickest fits, always goes hard, has the coolest tattoos. Everybody, this is Jules. There it is. All right, Jules. So which do you like better, Xbox or PS5, and why?
Well, I grew up playing on both. I mean, just like the original Xbox and like the PS2. I don't know. That's like a tough question because right now I have the Series X.
Yeah.
Like the one that looks like a
skyscraper. I just sold mine,
I like the benefits of it being connected to Microsoft.
Yeah, that's...
So you have like a lot of the benefits from that. Also, Game Pass has like...
Dude, Game Pass goes hard.
It's like $15 a month for like brand new games that come out a month before that will literally be on Game Pass.
Sometimes they're exclusive early releases.
Yeah, so that's a benefit. I don't know. also like the interface of Xbox more because I don't know.
Here's the thing: is PS5. It's so complicated. There's so many tabs. Now, here's the thing: is one thing I don't know about you, but Xbox. I know we were just kind of talking about music, and I didn't really do this intentionally. The original Xbox, I used to play BMX 2006 on it, and they had Headstrong by Trapped. That was my intro to some banger songs, dude. Headstrong is one of my favorite songs to this day. What's the one song? Cut My Life.
Last Resort by Papa
Last
Roach.
Resort by Papa
yeah.
Roach. How could I forget? But no, like that game had some of the best. Like, dude, they did not have to go that hard with the soundtrack, and even to this day, that video game still holds up quality-wise.
It does, and I also played a lot of Skate 3 on the 360.
Skate 3, dude.
Skate 3 is my shit. I also played a lot of like Fallout and Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 2, bro. Black Ops 2 is my shit.
I like
especially zombies.
There was something that was exclusively on. I think it might have been Grounded. It was an Xbox exclusive for a while. I think it's on PlayStation now, but it was a really fun game. It was kind of like a mix of Raft and Lost at Sea and Minecraft, where you had to craft and build stuff, but it was a little more adolescent a little bit. It wasn't as like, there was lore, but it wasn't so deep. Like how there's like a Minecraft, like the villager language and like the enchantment language. But there's just something about those early video games that, I mean, kind of inspired me like to like the music I like, the creativity I have. I can attribute to Minecraft for sure. Legos.
I played a lot of Minecraft.
All the Lego video games. That's kind of funny. Even still to this day, I've never watched a single Star Wars movie, but I love the early Lego Star Wars video games.
The Lego Star Wars is great. I also like playing Lego Indiana Jones. I don't know if you ever played Lego Indiana Jones.
Yes.
That was my shit.
Dude, I had that for the DS.
On the DS. Oh my
Dude, the
God.
DS. Bessie.
Same.
Dude, here's the thing: is there was something about those. Yo, we got a DS in the audience right now. That's crazy.
And a pink one too.
Dude, superior console. Okay, another thing people aren't talking about, PlayStation had way ahead of everybody else, was the graphics on a PSP compared to like a DS or a Game Boy.
The PSP
like here's the thing, don't get me wrong, I loved my Game Boy games, but a PSP, bro, I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I go to my cousin's house.
You could get like
especially
little
for
movies.
the size.
You can get like little movies for your PSP, and like it would load the graphics like perfectly.
Like, I mean, they did it better than I think the Switch even now to this day. I would say like I played Vice City.
The buttons are definitely a lot easier to use than the Switch on the PSP.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, okay, the only thing I don't like about Nintendo devices is that they switch the X and Y buttons and the A and B buttons.
Ooh,
Why?
yeah.
Why do that? What is the point? There's no point. I get you're trying to be slightly different. You're like the great value of every other controller.
Yeah,
Hey.
that makes me up too because I grew up playing the Game Boy Advance. Like the one that you have to hold in the sunlight.
Oh my gosh, that's
Like
crazy.
Super Mario.
Dude, I would have a book light on my bed, on my bunk bed, so I could see it at night.
Yeah, I would do that too. I'd be like holding it over the light, like,
dude,
oh my God, please don't die. Like
when they released the Game Boy Advance Color, dude, my life changed. I had there was a Fairly Odd Parents game, Nicktoons, Smash or something, where it was a mix of Tack on Juju, Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, SpongeBob, Invader Zim, and Cat Dog.
That reminds me of a Nickelodeon game that was on the PS2 that had like all the Nickelodeon characters. There was like something about
game.
Volcano.
Yes.
Volcano Island or something?
Volcano. That's what it was. That's what I was trying to say.
That game.
I bet it looks
the
so much
shit.
better on the PS2
that
compared to the Game Boy.
Yeah, I played that on the PS2 all the time with my brother.
I didn't have other than the GameCube, which I think whenever I was 7, my friend accidentally threw a water balloon at. I didn't have a gaming console from ages 5 to 12. And when I was 12, my mom bought me an Xbox 360. My stepbrother had a regular Xbox, but I very rarely got to play it. We would do Dance Dance Revolution. That game, DDR, that's what it was.
Okay.
Another song that got me into good music, like Devo, like Whip It, Rock Lobster, Where's Your Head At by, dude, that song by Jax, yeah, he knows. Yeah, we'll put it down there. Dude, that song was so good. It was a weird music video though. Dude, so funny enough, so the music video while you're dancing, it's so easily distractible. With the music video, it's like this evil German scientist transplanting human faces on monkeys and teaching them how to be in bands and play music instruments. And then at the end of the episode, or the end of the music video, the guy's face gets put on a pug's body. It was wild. It was
That's
a wild. If you were able to get 100% on that and not get distracted, you're a G. A++.
I just played a lot of Just Dance like on the Wii.
Yeah.
And I would like have the
Ooh,
controller in my
Just
hand
Dance was
playing
fire
Just
on the
Dance, and
Wii.
I would like even with the strap on, I would still like dance.
I was all about those dancing
I would
games.
still like fall out of my hand.
Dude,
even like
they were
holding
never
it.
tight enough.
It was never no.
Or
never
dude,
tight
or the
enough.
Wii Fit board, I could never stop jumping on the board. It's like stop jumping on me. I was a little tubby kid, dude. I was testing that thing's weight limit. Well,
But anyway, I guess the consensus is I personally like Xbox more, but I think it's because
it's
one
just,
of the reasons
you
is
know,
that
it's inclusive.
it's nostalgic too.
For sure.
I played way more Xbox growing up than PS, but
Well, thank you so much for your input. Everybody, this is Jules. We love having Jules on here. Alrighty. So, we're going to invite our next person up here. Who wants to talk about which they like better, Xbox or PS5? Anybody? Anybody want to talk about Xbox or PS5, which they like better? Oh, right here? Come on. Yeah, come on up here. All right, go ahead, sit down, introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? I'm Nick.
Everybody give it up for Nick. There it is. All right, Nick, what do you like better? It seems that we've had the bar go more towards Xbox. Are you going to follow that trend, or are you going to set the standard?
So I think overall PlayStation is better, but Xbox has the best console, Xbox 360. Gaming was at its peak at that time.
It really was.
And me, Aiden, and Ricky were just talking about it. The PlayStation 2 at the same time was the best.
Yeah,
Aiden
it was
said
the
it
best.
has the most units ever sold, but overall, Xbox 360 was the best console, in my opinion, ever made. And
Okay.
the games, so I stopped playing Call of Duty. I was a Call of Duty guy.
Okay.
I stopped playing Call of Duty when Ghost came out.
Yeah, I didn't play
like
that one.
Ghost.
I played
think-
World of War.
yeah,
That was it.
I think Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2 are all those four are in my top 5 games of all time.
So I have a controversial statement. My favorite, and I think the single best Call of Duty ever, Advanced Warfare. Better than any game we've had today. Better than any of the Black Ops games combined. Here's the thing, is anybody that hates Advanced Warfare loved Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 for the exact reason why people hated it. They thought the exoskeleton thing was stupid. They thought wall running was stupid. They thought double jumping was stupid. But we'll have you up in a minute. But here's the thing, is Advanced Warfare Zombies, you have Advanced Warfare Zombies, you have, who's the guy? John Malkovich was the main villain in that. Bro's god tier voice actor. Best zombie story, better. Dude, when I played Black Ops 3 Zombies, hated it. I couldn't play it for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, I never owned, like I said, Black Ops. After Ghost came out, I kind of gave up. I've played Black Ops 3, never owned it. I've never owned any Call of Duty game after Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2 was really good, and World at War was good.
Yeah.
Like, Black
No,
Ops
yes.
2 Zombies still holds up to this day.
Yep.
Even the quality and the graphics. The first 3 games I ever had for Xbox 360 was Dead Island, still one of the best games ever.
Dead Island's fun.
Dead Island. I had Saints Row the Third. Saints Row the Third, goated. They have a remastered version I want to buy. I was looking at it today. And then Advanced Warfare for me. Those were the first 3 I had.
Did you ever play Diablo?
Okay. I did not like Diablo, but those aren't my type of games. I
Okay.
like Dark Souls instead of Diablo. I know they're different game
Gotcha.
formats, but I like the more. It felt
How
more
about
like
Destiny? How about Destiny?
Destiny. I did like Destiny.
Okay.
Destiny was pretty good. Actually,
Destiny was huge.
some of my favorite.
Never played Destiny 2, but Destiny 1 was.
Some of
Destiny
my
was
best
the
PC friends were through Destiny, playing Destiny online.
Yeah.
Well, so did you ever have a PlayStation at all or no?
Yeah, my last PlayStation was a PlayStation 2.
Okay. They really did go hard. Like a lot of the Nickelodeon games, like the Fairly Odd Parents, the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. A lot of those, whenever I was a kid, those were some of the best games. And even Battle for Bikini Bottom still, I feel, holds up today. Like they remastered it.
Yeah. So with like back to the original question, the PlayStation 2 is it's the best PlayStation by far, I think, ever. Like, I don't know, that time, I think it's the time and the nostalgia for me. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a big gamer now.
For sure, yeah. I'm not really a gamer either, even though I'm talking a big game.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like
I still vibe with Minecraft.
I miss old gaming, but there are a lot of games that I see nowadays that I don't play, but that do look like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the thing is I like to watch video games more now than I like playing them.
Yeah.
Well,
I
good
agree.
stuff. Well, thank you so much for talking. Thank you, Nick. Thanks for coming up.
Absolutely.
All right, Lauren, come on back up here. Alrighty. So while Lauren's coming back up here, the next topic is, do you like drinking your kava with or without creamer? Which do you like better?
So I've never been big on creamer. Like when somebody puts like creamer into something, it reminds me of coffee, and I'm not a coffee drinker.
See, I'm not a coffee drinker either.
But I did hear that if you put creamer into your kava, it enhances the kava. Is that true?
So it's something about, I think it enhances the alkaloids in it.
Okay.
And it's any kind of lactose it enhances the strength of it. Maybe I can ask, maybe if I can get somebody up here that's a little more knowledgeable on it.
Yeah. No, I definitely want to know.
It's anything with fats in it that increase it. Thank you, Corbin.
Interesting.
So so same with you. I do not like coffee at all. I won't drink. Here's the thing is, there's a lot of things I don't like to drink, but I'll tolerate. Coffee, I'll never drink.
Yeah.
But creamer just overall gives me a more pleasant experience. I know there's a lot of OGs here, especially at Nocturne, that drink their stuff straight.
Yeah.
But realistically,
I like drinking it straight.
Okay, it depends on where I'm getting my kava. So if I'm drinking, if I'm at Island Root, I'll drink Island Root's kava straight. If it's something like, if I go to Kava Sutra, or if I go to, I can't even think, I guess, kava bars I'm not familiar with. I'm not so comfortable with trying their kava straight up, just because I don't know how they brew it. So I'll put the creamer in it, just as insurance for the taste. Because some kava can taste really bad.
What was that one little shot they gave us when we went to Orlando to Kava Culture? It kind of tasted like strawberry.
That was a kratom extract, I'm pretty sure.
That was so good.
No, hey, dude, I know every single episode we talk about Kava Culture. Kava Culture, you're really doing it. You're really setting the bar out there in Orlando. We love you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm more of a creamer guy. You seem to be more of a straight up person.
Yeah, get it down. Get it over with.
I'm going to let some people come up here and talk with you about this.
Okay.
If there's anybody out there that wants to talk about why they like creamer or don't like creamer in their kava, let's see some hands. All right, come on, Lily.
I'll help you. I love your shirt, by the way. It's so cute.
Said not to speak into
So, which one do you prefer? And I'm gonna move this just a little bit. Are you comfortable?
Yeah. Can everybody hear me? Okay, perfect.
Oh, you're good.
So I prefer creamer because I don't like the taste of straight dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite creamer? Do you like them flavored or?
Anything coconut, I really like.
Coconut. I've actually never heard of coconut creamer, but that sounds really good.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, I've noticed, to find a non-dairy coconut creamer because I'm actually lactose intolerant.
Oh, okay.
But
do you ever just pour straight almond milk into it, or?
I've tried that before.
It's not good.
I mean, it just tastes like kava with almond milk in it. I prefer oat milk anyways, but yeah, anything coconut. But I've definitely tried other creamers with it too.
Yeah, I feel like strawberry would be good. Have you ever tried it with strawberry?
Yeah, I get the I think it's the Cosmos is usually what I get here.
Okay.
And that one's amazing because I see it on the menu over there. And
yeah, I'm not too familiar with their kava selection here as far as their creamers and stuff like that. Just because I only drink kratom.
Yeah, I went to another kava bar, and they have like an October special, and it's like a pumpkin spice.
Oh, that sounds
like
really
creamer
good.
They have in it. Really, really.
I was just at Palhana a couple days ago, and I know they were bringing out their holiday menu for October, and everything was pumpkin spice, and they had cinnamon. I think they had some candy apple flavors as well that looked really interesting.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds really good.
So yeah, definitely go check out Palhana.
Yeah, I think that's where I got the pumpkin spice one. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure.
nice.
What was really cute about it is I think it was like marshmallow or something. They made like a little ghost like on the side of the
oh,
cup
that's
with
cute.
it.
Yeah,
It
they
was
always
super
decorate
cute.
it. They always do a phenomenal job with their drinks out there.
Really, really
especially
good.
during the holidays.
But yeah, no, I 100% prefer creamer in my kava.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I'm just used to drinking it straight because that's just how I started out. And then I realized later on, like a year later, you could put creamer into it. And then I tried it like once or twice. I wasn't a huge fan. I was like, might as well just drink it straight. But I feel like most people like to mask the taste of their kava.
Yeah, even recently, I've been like the Lolos at Palhana. I've been asking to get the creamer instead of the
because they have
mix.
flavored ones out there.
Yeah, and the whenever I chase it with the creamer, it's better than like lemonade or anything else.
Oh, really?
Because I feel I don't know, personally for me, I feel like the lemonade or just any other like fruity mix with it it doesn't wash down well.
It doesn't mix well.
Yeah, it reminds me of like if you're drinking like milk and then drinking soda afterwards. Like that's like the vibe it gives me, and I don't.
Have
really
you ever
like
tried like sake?
What is it?
Sake. It's like an alcoholic drink, but it's more like milky tasting.
Yeah, I had it at like Makoto's before, and I was like, this is all right because it wasn't flavored. I think it was just straight sake.
Like in my mind, that's how like kava with creamer should taste.
Yeah.
Or something similar to that.
My friend, she got like a peach flavored sake before, and that was pretty good. But I do know where like you get like the milky taste from. Like it was definitely interesting, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, I always hear people raving about like strawberry sake.
Oh yeah, the peach one was good. I haven't tried strawberry or anything.
I've just tried like the regular one that comes in the green bottle. I don't think it was flavored. I wasn't a huge fan, but I'm also like not a fan of anything kind of milky tasting.
Yeah, because sake, it's made out of rice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it probably has all that like rice water in it and stuff like that. I think it's all right, but I prefer other things.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else who wants to come up here and give their take on creamer or no creamer in their kava? Okay. So Tariq is going to come up. He's making his way.
What's going on, y'all? TTK Reek in the building. Here to answer some questions.
Yeah, so which do you prefer?
For what? Like with creamer or without?
Yes, for your kava.
All right, so realistically, I feel like I don't really fuck with the cream like that. I swear to God.
You're fine.
Okay, yeah,
I
I don't
feel
really
like
fuck with the
there's
cream.
mostly adults watching this,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I don't really mess with cream like that. But I don't know. I feel like if it got cream, it ain't me. You know what I'm saying? So it really gotta have that raw texture, that raw taste in it.
See, I just drink mine as fast as I can, so it really doesn't matter to me. I don't know. People who can just sip on it is kind of crazy.
I mean, because, like, think about it. Would you put creamer in your comet?
I don't know. I don't do comments, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't put creamer in my comet.
I feel like... I don't know. When I've had kava a couple times, but I would always be chasing it with something as soon as I would drink it, or I'd chug it and then just chase it. To me, like drinking kava is like doing a shot. You just want to get it down.
Right. Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, anything else? Or?
I only got
That's
answer.
it?
I only got one question, so I mean, if you got another question for me, I'll be happy to answer.
Mikey, are we gonna move on to a different question?
What we doing?
Okay.
All right, so that's it for me.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up and sharing.
Y'all have a good one.
Oh, this next question looks really cool. All right, moving on.
Alrighty, we're back. Dang, now my seat's warm. It's kind of nice. Alrighty. So our next question is, which are you more interested in, ocean exploration or space exploration? So now this question was given to us by one of my buddy Cello. So you guys can follow him at Cello the Dumb. We love Cello here. Cello's we worked together for a short time at the Reef Kava Bar.
Oh,
so
nice.
yeah, Cello gave me that question the other day whenever I was down when I saw him last. So
for me personally, I would have to pick ocean exploration just because what's the percentage on what's unexplored? Like 80 or 90%?
Yeah,
I'd
like
say
we've only
wrong,
explored
so.
like 11% of the ocean.
Yeah, and that's like what's left to explore.
And we've explored. Well, so I think the statistic is as well as we've explored more of space than we have of our own ocean.
Yeah, and you know, NASA actually used to be ocean exploration before they went into space.
It's some crazy stuff. I mean, obviously, right now, like it's pretty prevalent in the news still. Like it was just a year ago that the Titan went down underwater and that submersible. That submersible exploded. And
it's definitely dangerous. I mean,
if you think about it, I mean, James Cameron, 20 years ago, before he filmed the Titanic, or while he was filming the Titanic, he went down in a one-man submarine and scanned the wreckage of the. I think he scanned the wreckage of the Titanic.
Yeah,
by himself.
I have some conspiracy theories about the Titanic, actually.
Dude, hey, I'm all about a Lauren conspiracy. What you got?
So, the conspiracy is. Basically, all the bigwigs were going to get on the Titanic.
The big what?
The bigwigs, like like the billionaires, the millionaires. Like if you were somebody you wanted to be on this boat. So the original creators, I would say, like they built. I'm trying to remember the story like fully, but so they built a second boat.
Okay, so yeah, I heard about that as well.
Yeah, they built a second boat, and then they put all of these people, like the richest of the rich, like all their competitors on the Titanic.
Yeah.
And then basically the conspiracy is that they did this on purpose to knock out their competition.
Yeah.
And when I went to the Biltmore, I heard somebody else talking about this as well because right before the Titanic went down, the Biltmore family was kind of given like a heads up, like, hey, don't come on this ship. So, like, last minute, they left. I believe they were in England at the time, and they went back home instead of getting on the Titanic.
Well, so what I heard about the Titanic thing so the company that made the Titanic had two boats.
It was an insurance, it was
an insurance
fraud
thing. So one of the boats, they slapped the name the Titanic on this one, and they wanted to get insurance on it because it was a newer boat.
Yeah.
Or, well, it was their older boat, but they slapped the new title on it and just gave it a fresh paint job. But there were so many things on it that matched this other boat that was so old that, I mean, obviously, you run into a massive massive ice or whatever, it's gonna, especially back then.
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna
the material
do damage.
that they built it out of was no good. And I feel like people were so brilliant even back then that they knew, scientists knew.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they didn't have like a lot of the stuff, like they didn't have GPS satellite and stuff, so it was kind of, they had to map out these things. But here's the thing is, if that was big enough to sink that ship, I think it was at least reasonable to think that they would have seen it even in the night. Like they didn't have lights, I guess, like that. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think it had lights like that.
I mean, what's the easiest way to get rid of your competitors? Throw them all on this ship and sink them.
That's crazy stuff.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm with you on this one. I'm all about ocean exploration, especially just because honestly, it almost seems way more dangerous to explore the ocean than to explore space. I mean, they train astronauts in water, like deep, deep pools, for going into space because that's as close as you can get to that experience of weightlessness.
Yeah.
That always interested me as a kid. I'm not smart enough for any of that crap, but like, it would
I'm always interested with all the new animals that they find.
If we ever get famous enough and we're still alive in the time where we're
gonna build a submarine and go down there and sink
we're gonna
it.
go to space. I want to go to space. Here's the thing: is I will never get in a submarine. I would get in a rocket before. I've been in a submarine before. I will never get in a test submarine like they did. I would get into a test rocket before I got into a test submarine.
Yeah, I feel like
there's way more money going towards rocket than now. That's okay. That's another reason why I think there's not as much ocean exploration. Is more that money goes towards space than it does towards underwater. I mean, like you saw the Titan submersible. It was like $5 million thing or whatever, but most rockets are like.
But didn't they
$20
craft that
million.
themselves though?
They did. So
like it was their kind of project.
There's not a lot of companies that are doing stuff like that, and if they are, they're taking it slowly. They were trying to expedite that, as far as I'm concerned.
What was it? I want to say that a reporter went on the submarine before they put it in the water, and it was actually you were able to control the submarine with an Xbox controller.
Well, so that's how it was. But you know who they put on that submarine to promote it?
Who?
Macklemore, the rapper, like thrift shop Macklemore.
Yeah,
They put him, and they sent a BBC News guy with him, and they went to the place where it's at, and they went and they did I think they went as low as 50 feet or whatever underwater, but like. It was like a whole publicity thing.
Yeah.
But hey, who out there has something who out there wants to talk about? You do? All right.
Okay.
I'll
interview.
You'll interview?
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you doing?
Hi, I'm Sky.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, so I just think it's really interesting because, they just found out that aliens were real and stuff.
Just found out what?
That aliens were they proved that aliens are out there in space.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they were to, take time towards the ocean because it's a more reachable.
Yeah, I mean it's right in our backyard.
Exactly. So, Mikey said, if they were to spend money on, ocean stuff and finding stuff that's on our own planet, it'd be a little bit. I feel like it's more beneficial because we literally live with them. So.
I feel like sometimes you also have to think about what is more profitable as well, because I feel like there's always another intention when they're going and exploring things. There might be resources on other planets that we deem profitable, or just to carry on the human being species. So I think that's why they're investing so much into space, as well as satellites as well. Satellites run the world. I was just in New Orleans, and I met a man at an oyster bar, and he was there for a conference, and we got into it about satellites. And basically, whoever has the most satellites makes the most money, and satellites can just do crazy things these days.
Yeah.
Like, I know you can walk out into the middle of the street and look up, and that satellite can capture a perfect image of your face.
One of my dad's close friends, he was also close friends with someone that worked at Area 51.
That's cool.
Yeah, so, it was kind of confirmed.
The FBI is going to show up at Nocturne.
Not saying any names, guys.
We're going to be murdered in about 2 weeks, and you know why.
Yeah, but he, so it was already kind of confirmed for me that aliens were a thing, but, aliens already know so much about us.
Yeah.
And we barely know anything about them.
And I think it's so interesting when you go and you look at the pyramids and just all the history with how they believed in, all the gods and things in space. Yeah, there's definitely things out there.
Both are very interesting,
yeah,
for sure. But, me personally, I just like ocean animals and stuff, so, that would be my basic answer. But, honestly, both of them are I find them so interesting, for sure.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think that's definitely why we explore space a lot more than the ocean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have to find somewhere to live after, we can't live here anymore.
Yeah, after we run out of water or whatever. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anybody else who'd like to come up here and give their thoughts on what they like better, ocean exploration or space? Okay, somebody's making their way up. Oh, he raised his hand first. Hi, welcome. Good. What's your name?
My name's Adam. Username St. Adams on TikTok.
Here, I'm just gonna move if you want to scoot in to the mic, just to make sure they can hear you.
All right.
So
hey,
this is Adam, guys.
Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? That's it. Now it's a party.
Yeah.
Right,
so what are your thoughts? What do you like better, space or the ocean?
I gotta go with space. Space is all about exploration and stuff.
Tyler, can you hear him?
Can you?
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. Well, grow up, watching all the nerd stuff like Star Trek and stuff.
Yeah, they really publicize space.
Yeah. And Star Wars. Oh. It was like 3D for a moment. Any other topics with space? Go off of.
why don't you talk about like the movies?
Oh, sorry.
Like what you're really interested in.
Gotcha.
What's your favorite space movie?
Space movie.
Or just like TV show or a series?
Oh, I started watching Aliens. You know, that's pretty good so far.
I want to say, what did that movie come out in like around 2010, 2015, that time period? Was it like a horror movie with aliens?
Yeah. You know.
Oh my gosh, I think that was like my first ever horror movie as a kid. I actually went to the theater to watch it, and it was like 1 or 2 jump scares. But when my friend and I, her mom dropped us back off at her house, and we were home alone, we were so sketched out from this alien horror movie that we actually hid in her bathroom because we thought like aliens were gonna come and get us.
Oh yeah, little face huggers and stuff. You know, they come out.
Yeah,
hang on you.
We thought it was a funny movie.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to rewatch all the classics. You know.
Yeah.
Halloween season's here.
Yeah, you have Star Wars, Star Trek. You have so many.
I'm trying. I don't think it's picking up. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. They might work a little bit better. All right, yeah. All right, let's try that again.
Yeah, there's just so many movies and shows out there about space. A lot of documentaries as well that are interesting. Have you seen any documentaries about space that fascinate you, or?
No, not recently. No.
But yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
All right. Thank you for having me.
All right, welcome back, Mikey.
Alrighty. So, next is our segment. It is called Inner Brews, where we interview some people here in our community. So I'm going to grab a third chair because I'm going to keep us here, all 3 of us here. So I'm going to pull my stuff off to the side and grab us a chair.
Sounds good. All right, here comes Mikey.
All right. And we are back. So, up first, we're going to be interviewing Karina. So everybody give it up for Karina.
Woo!
So I'll give a little backstory. Karina has come out to the open mic pretty much every single Thursday we do here at Nocturne Teas, and has pretty much integrated herself here into the bar. So this is Karina.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. This is...
Squeeze in a little bit. Got it.
Are they good?
Personal.
Okay, so which kava bar got you intrigued into this community? Like, what was the first one that really grasped your attention?
So I've actually never had kava before this year.
Oh wow! Well, welcome.
I was invited to Kraken Kava Bar.
Oh, nice! They just opened, so that was recent. That was super recent.
Very recent. And it was pretty much like a first friends meeting. I met her online, so she was like, "Oh, like I have this really cool kava bar that just opened. I'd love to come hang out with you there." And I was like, "Oh, that sounds cool." And I walked in, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I could definitely make a home
it's
here."
Definitely a safe and welcoming place.
Her name's Mia Barreto.
Nice. How'd you guys meet?
On Facebook.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's super cool how you can just meet anybody anywhere in the world and just meet up with them or hang out.
No, 100%.
I was friends with who was I friends with? I was friends with someone here. I was friends with who is it? I was friends with there's somebody here. Oh, I was friends with Gage on Facebook. Gage,
Our
he's out of
Gage?
Our Gage.
That's
I was friends with
crazy.
Gage on Facebook, and I was like, where have I seen this guy before? And then one day, him and Nick were playing. They were playing, I think, like Overwatch or something at EGAD, and I was like, oh, you're the Gage I keep on seeing on Facebook. So it's crazy. You can, and it's just through Facebook. Like, I guess it kind of like makes us sound old now because we're talking about Facebook and not Snapchat and Instagram, but I mean, hey, there's
that's how I met the band out in New Orleans just this weekend.
What?
Was online, yeah.
Yeah, so
Super cool.
I actually didn't know anybody here. I recently moved here almost 3 years ago now. And so after about a year and a half, I would say, of sitting at my house by myself, I was like, I've got to figure out a way to meet people because I wasn't like into, at the time, my son was very small. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to go to downtown Melbourne.
Yeah, it's hard to have like a genuine conversation.
Exactly. So I was like, what else can I do? And I just found Facebook pages of like girls around my age in the area.
I think I've heard about this. Like there are Facebook communities for women to just kind of form groups and go out and do like brunches or just hang out with each other because I feel like everybody's looking for that group.
Exactly. And so I was just like, oh, like, you know, just texting a whole bunch of girls, and she's actually the first one that was like, oh, let's meet up. So I was like, sounds good.
Yeah, and so many people are moving here recently that it's great that they have that.
Yeah, I wish I knew about it sooner. You know.
Yeah. Well, you're here now, so we're glad to have you.
Actually, we both met Fred the same exact way.
Oh my,
Fred.
yeah. So we have a friend, Fred. He's originally from Michigan, and he came down here for a music internship. And I had met him on this app that was for like meeting up with people to go to concerts. And I was chatting with him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm actually moving to Melbourne for my internship." And then, I kid you not, about 24 hours later, I'm downtown with my girlfriend, Sammy, and Shay. And we walk into, what is the bar called? Main Street Pub. I see him walk in. I was like, I swear that's my friend Fred from online. And I was like, I have to say something. So I like ran to him, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you Fred? And he's like, oh my gosh, Lauren. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. Timing and coincidences. And
dude, like
he's such an awesome guy.
Fred is probably like one of my closest friends. Like,
yeah, Fred is like one of my best friends now.
Fred's up in Chicago now, so.
Yeah, he moved back sadly, but I go and visit, so it's okay.
Hopefully gonna come visit us soon.
Yeah, he'll be back here. I'll make him come back. We'll kidnap him.
I'll steal your mic.
Yeah, let me give you the mic.
Perfect. All right. Now I feel like you know me a little bit better than Lauren, so. I mean, this is a pretty straightforward question for us because we're just freshly meeting each other. But where did we first meet?
We met right here.
Boom, at Nocturne Teas.
On stage.
Creating friendships that last a lifetime. Boom. That's what I'm talking about, people.
It was an open mic night, and you were hosting.
Yeah, and how did that go?
It went okay for me.
I think I accidentally skipped over your name like 3 times, and I was like, oh, I'll get you on the next one. I'll get you on the next one, and then somebody would distract me. So I think Karina signed up to perform at like probably 10 p.m., and it wasn't until 1:30 in the morning that Karina ended up actually getting to perform. And I felt so bad that I made sure that Karina got to go up at like 9:30 the next week. I was like, there's no way. And I did the same thing to like, okay, this other time, it was way more excusable. So there's 2 Naomis that come here to this kava bar, and they both sign their name with a heart. Like, what are the odds, man? And, like, not like a dot the I with a heart, like a heart off to the side. Like, so she's like, oh, yeah, I'm not coming, so you can get my slot up. And I felt bad because I thought it was my Naomi, but it was a different one. And she didn't get to perform at all that night. And she had to come back a week later. It was the same night that happened to you. I was like, but now if you come in on Thursdays, I got this down way better. So no, that's a really cool thing is like music seems to have a really big part in this kava bar in drawing people together and just their events in general. Like I would say this overall has some of the best event interaction out of any kava bar. Because, I mean, where else do you get to go to a kava bar where they shoot a live studio audience podcast on Mondays? Tuesdays they do bingo where they give away a $75 gift card. Wednesdays they do trivia. Thursdays they do open mic. Fridays, what do we do on Fridays?
Chess? What's the chess?
Nothing? Okay. Fridays, starting this week, so the day this episode comes out, I'm hosting a free guitar class. So if you want to learn to play guitar, I'm hosting it here from 8 to 10 p.m. this Friday, the day that this episode comes out. Come out to Nocturne Teas from 8 to 10. It's a completely free guitar lesson and vocal training. We just ask that you get 2 drinks. And then Saturdays is kind of one of those random event days, but Sundays is chess, poker, and NFL football. So, I mean, 6 out of the 7 days of the week, I mean, not every kava bar does something like that. So it's really cool that, I mean, they give us a stage to do this here. Like, I mean, professional setup, we got a really interactive crowd. I mean, we've had maybe like 8 people up here tonight already, and we're only halfway through the podcast. So, yeah. Oh, I guess I should ask you the next question. Or no, Lauren, go ahead. Yeah.
I was going to ask it. Okay, so what keeps you coming back? Is it the people, the vibe, the drinks? Like, what's your favorite?
So, funny enough about the drinks, I'm the tsunami. As you can tell, I like Kraken. So kava makes me so tired.
Yeah.
And kratom makes me itch. So
yeah, that is like a little side effect, but I feel like it goes away after an hour or 30 minutes. It's nothing crazy.
But if I do both at the same time, then I'm fine.
That's interesting. Yeah, everybody's different. Everybody has a different chemistry.
Yes. It's like kratom and kava. Kratom and kava together is a good mix for me, personally. And so I'm glad that I recently found that out. But it's still something that is like on occasion like a celebratory type of deal. I would say that the thing that keeps me coming back the most is the events.
Yeah,
100%.
Every kava bar has so many special events. It's just always a place you can come and find something to do.
I would say it's almost tied with the community, though. It's such a community here. Everybody is friendly. Everybody is such sweethearts. I've never met
that's
anybody.
What I always have said about
100%.
This community, and I've been coming here for about like 4 years now.
Yeah, like
just
there's
coming around to all the kava bars.
No bad blood, no arguing, no nothing. And
it really is one big happy family.
If there is anything, like here's the thing is, I won't act like that anywhere is 100% free of drama. Yeah. But if there is drama, it is squashed immediately and it doesn't spread.
Our light just went out on the camera.
Hey, Tyler, how's the lighting look? The light went out, but I think we're good. We're good. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So if there is any drama, it's squashed immediately, and or it just is dealt with outside.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not dealt with here. People specifically at this kava bar have an understanding. Nobody wants to deal with that crap, dude. People are coming here to get away from all the drama in their daily life. People come here to just enjoy themselves and have fun, hang out with their friends.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. I completely agree with everything.
Well, thank you so much for coming up here and sharing. It's great to meet you.
Karina's awesome. We love Karina, guys. Give it up for Karina.
Thank you, Karina.
Oh, no, George, did I catch you in the middle of a game? Damn it.
I mean, we could edit it in once he's done.
Yeah, but we are live streaming.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that.
Well, damn. Hey, Everett. Everett, you want to come up here and talk for a minute? Talk about Tiave? Perfect. Well.
Yeah, thank you so much for the drinks last week. They were amazing.
Yeah, dude. So we're very proud to have a sponsor like Tiave Teas here at Nocturne Teas and part of the Breaking Brews podcast. You guys are getting a lucky interview here with the owner of the company, Tiave Teas. This is Everett.
Hello.
Give it up for Everett, everybody.
Woo.
You can hold it if you want.
All right.
I'll ask you here.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So, I mean, squeeze in a little more. This is close. I would say this is close as we can kind of get right now. Even just a little bit. So, I guess the one question on everybody's mind, I know we talk about it almost every single week, but what is Tiave Teas? Like, go ahead and explain how you would describe it.
Okay. The best way I can describe Tiave Tea is it's an all-natural kratom tea that is stronger than your average kratom tea. It's about the strength of 5 kratom teas, but the difference between a Tiave tea and drinking an extract or drinking a mitra is Tiave tea is, at its heart, it's a tea. It's not an extract, it's a tea. So you're still getting all 45 alkaloids in kratom that give you the unique effects in higher concentrations. You are not just taking a shot of mitragynine that's just going to get you really messed up in the head and it's going to get you really wired. You're getting all of the different alkaloids that give you the unique feelings that you get from a tea. It's not like a mitra where you're just getting the mitragynine. It's purely a tea that's just really strong?
It was super strong. So last week was actually my first time drinking it, and I kid you not, I drank this much, and I was like, oh my goodness. And it was so good tasting too.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time working on those flavors. It took like 10 months to get to the point where the flavors are right now to get the right balance of everything.
I was curious how long it took you, because like I've been studying kava and kratom for quite a while now, and just kind of ways to brew it. But you got a tea that it's not. There's no bitterness really. Like every kratom has bitterness just because that's the way tea is. All tea is kind of bitter, and you add sweets to it. But your flavor profiles, I mean, I don't see anything kind of similar to it. Like I mean, even with Mitra and with White Rabbit, there's no flavor combos like you have, especially with like some of your seasonal flavors you have coming up.
Yeah, well, a lot of companies, like, for example, when you go to a kava bar, your teas are flavored with syrups. I don't use syrups.
Really?
I hand mix all my flavors, so I'm not using, like, pre-made flavors from anywhere. It's all stuff I'm creating.
That's crazy. So so you're using fruits and stuff. I almost think realistically, if you build a batch of your own flavorings, you'd save so much more money in the long run. I mean, I do some like in a small quantity where I brew at home like my own tea every now and then. I brew my own flavors, and one of my favorites is I mix watermelon juice with mint and guava juice as well, and it just pretty much you take the fruits, you juice them yourself, and then you kind of break it down to a base, and then you add a little bit of I add all natural sugar. Like I'm all about that. I won't add anything like whatever I can get like raw sugar cane sugar. But like whenever you do that, I mean, Monin tea flavors are pretty affordable, but realistically, for what you could buy a whole box of Monin tea, you could make like a couple months worth of your own flavoring.
No, and I'll tell you another thing about that. Like, let's say right here, this glass, this is mixed with syrups. So if you get your kratom tea here and you want it flavored with syrups, you're going to get about probably up to here full of syrup, and the rest of it's going to be kratom. So you're losing a bit here too. The way that I flavor my teas is a very unique way, so you don't lose all that space. It's a lot more potent just on its own, even if I weren't to brew it to be so strong. If I were to do regular teas, because of the method that I use to flavor it, you still would have more tea than you would in a glass you get from a bar. That's
for sure one thing I noticed, because the issue I have with some kava bars is like with their syrups is it's just so sweet that it's not really that enjoyable. Like with yours, it's something smooth and it's tasty, and it's not like you're not shoving a whole fruit down my throat. You're not shoving the taste of what. If you ask somebody to describe to you what a flavor is, it tastes like the fruit that's in it.
No, I appreciate that it's not artificial at all. It's not too sugary. Because my issue with a lot of the syrups are that it's so sugary, it makes you feel sick after drinking it. And instead of being able to enjoy the feeling of it, you just feel like it's too overpowering, and it just upsets my stomach. So I really appreciate that you have an alternative to that.
For sure. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because one thing I have an issue with is anything that's really not like straight up like fruit juice is I get that feeling, whenever like you get like you have a frog in your throat, it dries it out, and then it makes it sticky, and like I always feel like I gotta or like and with that I don't have that issue at all. See ya. But that's one thing I just don't have an issue, and it's really cool that you've created a tea like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That comes a lot in the way that I sweeten it too, and the way that I sweeten it, I use a combination of multiple sweeteners that complement each other really well, and that allow it to remain at 40 calories per glass. Like, it's also a low calorie
That's a crazy
drink.
thing that it's only 40 calories. I mean, like if I look right now at the Mitra, I mean it is. So here's the thing,
it's a seltzer that's based on an extract full of.
But I mean, if you compare it to like a regular kratom tea with all those ingredients and stuff that are in the Monin syrups,
you can get up to hundreds of calories really easily flavoring a kratom tea if you're not careful.
And one thing that I always go back to, like that Lauren said, is she knew somebody, and I feel like this would be perfect for somebody. No way. Tyler. Okay, well I'm not gonna dish all your stuff on here, but like so Tyler drinks tea for health purposes and like before he eats, and it really helps it. And I feel like something like this would be just beneficial to a lot of people in the world that it's something that's low calorie. A lot of people, especially that are athletes, Like I know a lot of my friends, like Max. Max used to do a lot of workout stuff. Like he used to do bodybuilding, powerlifting. Oh my gosh. We love Max, by the way. We love Max. Max is we're giving Max the night off. We have our buddy out here helping us out on the mics tonight. His name's Tyler. We love Tyler. Everybody give it up for Tyler. Really pulling through. Tyler's actually going to be joining us on our he was the one I mentioned earlier. We're going to be joining us on our flight to and from Vero to St. Pete. So we're really excited about that. But back to you. I mean, you really got lightning in a bottle.
I think one of the spaces
no pun intended.
that a lot of people do not talk about a lot with Kratom tea is the uses of it for recovering addicts.
Yeah.
Like I have recovering addicts in my family, and when you abuse opioids for a long time, it does affect your ability when you drink Kratom. Your tolerance is naturally very high.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, recovering addicts who start trying Kratom, don't feel effects the first time because they require so much of it. So this is also like I feel like
it'd be perfect. Yeah.
It's a very great drink for people who are trying to stay away from other substances.
And one thing I feel like is realistically, like with your tea, I can sip at your tea for a good hour or so, and it doesn't lose that factor or whatnot. Like there's something like if I let my you don't have to be mixing it. And on top of that, like where I'm having like a regular tea or I'm having like a matcha or even something like as daily as a soda, after 30 minutes, a soda just isn't pleasant. But this is a pleasant flavor going back to it, whether you have it like in 5 minutes or an hour later. Just sipping at it.
Well, that's something that I spent a lot of time on. Like the majority, I'd say, of those like 10 months, aside from making the flavor when I was brewing the tea, was keeping it and getting it to a point where nothing was settling. Where I was using ingredients where nothing was settling. Where you don't even see, like if you look at the tea, you don't see any residue of Kratom at the bottom, no matter how long you let it sit in your fridge. Because I put a natural preservative in there too. So if you were to take it home for a couple weeks, it'll still be good in your fridge. And you take it out a couple weeks later, you're not going to see anything settled at the bottom.
Well, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm insanely impressed. There really is nothing like it out on the market. So if you have the chance to try Tiave tea, definitely go ahead and try it. It's worth it for sure.
Currently, right now, you can only find it at Nocturne Teas, but if you follow the Instagram, which is tiave.tea, I do giveaways every single week. I give away a lot of stuff. And on there, I'm going to...
That's awesome.
There will be a website coming soon.
Oh, hell yeah.
And there's going to be some new locations that are going to be opening up with the tea as well.
That's good stuff, man. So, yeah, guys, again, we're going to plug them like we do in every episode. Tiave Teas, TEAVE.T on Instagram, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Everett. We love having you out here, dude. Appreciate you explaining it for us. Give it up for Everett, guys.
Thank you.
Ooh, and breaking news, we have hoodies coming soon.
The signs aren't on them, but these are the blanks right here. Go ahead and take a feel.
Ooh. Dude, here's the thing is I will say some kava bars
oh my
like
gosh,
merch
this
and
is
stuff
so nice.
is
this
like
is
it's not
really
comfortable.
good.
It's just, like you can feel that generic fabric. Dude, this is super soft.
A long time looking for it. It's the same stuff that Lost Surfboards use for their blanks.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
Well, guys, yeah, make
Thank
sure
you
you guys
so
stay tuned on their social media because that's where you're going to find any info on Tiave Tea. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Alrighty.
Hey, getting into Breaking Barriers segment.
So this is our segment called Breaking Barriers. This is where we break down us being podcast hosts and just being friends with you guys at home. We kind of open up about our personal lives and we just, we break down that barrier between where some people that are online and influencers on the internet, it almost seems like that friendship and, being able to talk with them is so intangible. And here we kind of just open up and talk about stuff that doesn't exactly do with kava or kratom, just kind of get to know us a little bit more as people.
Yeah.
So it feels like you guys are here with us in the moment in the kava bar. So our first topic today is going to be ways we choose to relax in our free time.
Yeah, so I definitely love self-care days. I feel like any girl or just anyone in general just loves pampering themselves. So I like going and getting my hair done, going to the nail salon, just the basic stuff.
One thing I do is, whether it's at a kava bar or not, I have a guitar, I have an acoustic guitar, and I love to write music. It's funny, I mean, if we pulled it up right now, we'll see how many songs I have written out. Right now,
Mikey's a phenomenal musician and artist. If you haven't checked out his work, go check him out.
I have 160 completed songs. Like, I write a lot, nonstop, really. Like,
yeah, impressive stuff, for sure.
Here's the thing is, and I have what I call it spontaneous inspiration. It was funny. I came here one time. I was supposed to be coming here to play Minecraft with everybody on the server, and I was sitting at the light right here on Babcock and Palmbay Road, and at the light, I just heard the word in my head. Oh, what was the word? It's one of my most recent songs. Let's check it out. I heard I heard the word mistakes, and I was like, I gotta write a song because a lot of people make mistakes, and you can't let the mistakes you make in your past control what you do today. You just learn from the mistakes you make. It doesn't define you, man. Like, and that's I'm actually gonna look at some of the words. So, like the first verse goes, I've been known to make mistakes. This time I took the cake. Lately I've been on a track that has no way of coming back. But then I follow up the end of every single line with I'm wrong, because all these things that you tell yourself in your head, they're not true. It's just your mental health. And a lot of songs I write deal with a lot of the mental health that people don't want to talk about or don't know how to talk about. And I write these songs so
you give them something to relate to.
Give something to relate to, because I don't know, I feel weird about targeting a specific group of people when writing a song, because I'm just shutting these people off when writing my music. And so one thing I do to really get in touch, like if I'm on a real big writing block where I can't think of anything or I can't think of a new song, I drive out to Wickham Park. I go out to their old amphitheater where they used to do concerts.
Oh, yeah,
and
I've been
sit there and I just play guitar, and I just kind of take inspiration from the nature around me. And I know it sounds pretty hippy dippy,
that's
but like
beautiful.
it's fun. And here's the thing is, what I'll do is I'll sit on the stage right on the edge where it slightly the roof cuts off before the stage does, and I can stare and look up at the clouds and just kind of take inspiration from that. And especially like I was doing that a lot more during the cold season, kind of like January through March.
When you're not out there sweating.
Dude, yeah, when you're not sweating bullocks. But that's just one way I like to relax, and I feel like there's nothing particularly harmful about it. It's just being one with nature and being one with my music.
It sounds really soothing.
And our next topic is going to be, what's our earliest, happiest memory?
I have to think about this one.
So when I was a kid, there's 3 memories I have, and they all pretty much have to do with theme parks. So I grew up back and forth a lot between Pennsylvania and Florida, and there's a theme park up there that to this day I stand by is one of the best theme parks. I think it was actually the world's first amusement park, or America's first amusement park. Not theme park, because the first theme park was Santa Land in Santa Cruz, California, but this is called Kennywood. And now the cool thing about this this theme park is there's one roller coaster in particular that this theme park is built into the side. It was carved into the side of a mountain, and they used the momentum of the valley of the river, of the Allegheny River, to cause momentum on the roller coaster, and it only uses power to get it up the chain link fence, or like up the chain link to the top.
Crazy.
And then it drops, and it just uses the momentum of the mountain. Another memory I had was here in Brevard County, we used to have an ice skating rink called PD Penguins. I don't know if any of you guys remember PD Penguins.
No, I don't.
But it was across from Melbourne High School. It's where Percepta is, where Starbucks and Long John Silver's is, and it's right across from the Publix Plaza. It was a place called PD Penguins. And I know this is going to sound like a not great memory, but I remember I ate 2 large pizzas as a 5-year-old from there, and I threw up in the parking lot, and I thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And then my last, my favorite memory was my first time at Disney. I remember it pretty vividly. It was, when you're a kid, Disney hits different than when you're an adult. I really don't care for Disney that much anymore. There's a lot of business stuff I don't particularly agree with, and I think they just need to make more original stuff now. I feel like they're feeling too much on rebooting. Like 2
about
episodes
their
ago.
Movies.
But, I just remember, that pure innocence you have as a child going to Disney, and you have that belief in magic. And that's why I have a lot of belief in some magic where, like, the power of music is magic, dude. The power of music has the ability to change somebody's emotions in, like, a second. Yeah. Like, what you feed yourself daily, like, if you feed yourself, like, heavy metal or whatever, you're going to be a little more, like, energized and bumping. But if you're listening to jazz, you're going to feel a little more relaxed. Or if you listen to pop music, that's that kind of like
music is so
rock
powerful.
Your body stuff too. And music just has it's got magical qualities. Like, not to seem like kind of like some like wizard Harry Potter nut, but like really there's a lot of power in music and what you feed your brain.
Yeah.
And it's all science. Like, I like the quote from Thor is magic is just science that you don't understand yet.
So one of my earliest memories, everybody used to have their birthday party here. I don't know if you ever went there. It's more of like a girly thing to do, but it was almost like Build-A-Bear.
I was pretty feminine.
It was the place where you can throw parties that was like Build-A-Bear, but you could pick out your animal, dress it up. You could like take it to the salon.
Okay, that's pretty girly.
Yeah, you got to dress up your animal, and you got to like play dress up, and they had all these dresses and cool things. And after you dressed up and picked your animal and did the whole Build-A-Bear like thing, after you would go into this room and have like a tea party with all your friends and all your stuffed animals.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Places, I feel like a lot of places like that don't exist anymore. Like, yeah, you still have Chuck E. Cheese, but it's not what it used to be. I don't remember. You've been in Brevard for pretty much
my whole life. Yeah, born and raised.
Do you remember Pump It Up?
Oh my gosh,
Pump
yes.
It Up
that
was amazing.
Some of my best memories was that Pump It Up.
A lot of my friends, so what Pump It Up pretty much is it's kind of like a bounce house warehouse.
I want to say they still have it.
So it's called something else now, but it's next to where Sam's Club is in West Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much they had 3 obstacle courses. They had a kind of like a rock climbing wall one. Yeah. They had one where it was like sparring, where you had like bubble bats and you would have to knock people off.
Slide
big slide, dude. And then you would have a big party inside of a room, and they would cook pizzas and stuff like that. Like,
do you remember the chair? Like,
dude, the big chair. They
threw the party at Pump It Up, and you were like the coolest kid at school. Whenever you got to like sit in that chair.
I'm gonna look up on Facebook right now, or like whenever I'm going to post editing. I'm going to look. There's probably a picture of me and my stepsister, because I know she had her 11th or 10th birthday there. And, dude, they give you an inflatable crown with, like, game tokens for the arcade. Like, stuff like that,
man. And I remember when I was even younger, I don't even know how old I was, probably around, like, the age of 3 or 4. There was this one place where they had all these different rooms that you could go into, and it was like a play date with your friends. And one room was a water room. Another room was, like, a sand room. It was like more of a texture thing. I don't know. It was just like really cool, and I have a faint memory.
So there was a place here in Brevard as well. You might remember this. It wasn't around for a long time, because I was there the day that I think it got sued for getting shut down. It was kind of like a big jungle gym. It was off of US 1 between Parkway and Lake Washington, but pretty much it was like a giant jungle gym inside of a building. It was called Epic Play Center or something. And it was right next to where Berry Patch is. But it was really cool.
Okay.
And I remember I have a lot of memories of there. I'm going to shout them out. I don't
Maybe
even
that's the same place I was talking about, because I remember there was like an indoor obstacle course at the front.
Yep, exactly.
So, no, that place was awesome as a kid. And I hope they still have stuff like this that you can bring your children to.
I think I actually ran into this guy in a kava bar not too long ago. His name's Andrew Cruel. And if any of you guys know him on the podcast or whatever out there, dude, tag him down below. Andrew Cruel was like one of my best buddies in elementary school. But yeah, we went to one of his birthday parties there, and I remember some kid hit his head at his birthday party on one of the playpen things, like on the plastic slide tubes, and like started bleeding, and I think the family like sued. It wasn't Andrew, but it was like somebody at the party.
Yeah.
But so I think a lot of those early childhood memories build who we are. Another thing, like I was saying, I know we keep on talking about music. We didn't talk about food on the podcast.
I know, we're doing good.
Okay.
We're doing really good.
Okay, I was going to put a timer. I'm still going to put it up there just for, for pride. But I told Lauren before this episode aired, or before we started recording, I was like, I want to see how long we can go without talking about food. And whenever we had Everett up here to talk about TLVTs, that's completely different. That's that's strictly like business.
What we're supposed to be talking about.
We didn't talk about food.
I'm proud. I'm proud of ourselves.
I mean, I'm gonna look back, and if I did, I'm gonna add us. Like if we did talk about food
count
at all,
in the corner.
I don't think we talked about food today.
Our last one, we would probably have like 30 different times we brought up food.
Dude, it was crazy.
Mikey was driving me to the airport before my trip on Friday, and what were we? We caught ourselves just randomly talking about food in the car, like as we were talking about the podcast.
It's not even just an on-camera thing.
It slipped in. It's
Dude,
we're
we cannot
food
stop talking
connoisseurs.
Food. But we cannot stop talking about food. But I think because we both ate before we came up here, I wasn't as hungry. Usually I don't eat before the podcast.
You're right.
And we still have half a pizza over here.
Yeah, maybe that's key. We need to eat before we come on the show.
All right, we're gonna go into our last segment here, guys. So we're gonna be talking about a specific rapper that we like. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, is it's been a more recent thing for me. I really wasn't into rap music too much. I was kind of introduced to rap. I liked a lot of older rap, like 80s and 90s rap, like Sugar Hill Gang and stuff like that. I liked Biggie, a lot of stuff like that. But I wasn't really much into the modern day rappers because I'm going to say something that's probably going to be a little bit controversial. But I'd say 85% of modern rappers all rap about the same thing. They don't tell a unique story. It's all the same garbage. And it's the artists and the rappers who put out a story in their music or whatever, like something that's relatable. And here's the thing is, I know I'm not the target demographic for rap music, but a good artist can make a song about anything. Like that's specifically why I write the music I do, is to target people.
I actually want to pull up my Spotify. I don't really listen to rap music anymore, but I was big into it sophomore year of high school, and I want to go back to my old playlist.
So I'm going to name my top 3 favorite rappers of today.
Okay.
So number 1 all-time favorite rapper, J. Cole. J. Cole.
He is good.
J. Cole can tell a story, dude. Okay, Love Yours is a great song. Love Yours. Damn, I'm trying to remember the name of the song, but it's the one where he's talking about where he had like the first time that he had sex or whatever.
I think I know exactly what song
I have
you're
it. I have so many J.
about.
Cole songs.
That one is
What is
crazy. Wet Dreaming.
Oh yeah. Wet Dreams. And
that
then,
was one of my favorite songs.
And actually, one of the first songs I remember hearing as a kid, like rap, and I was like, dang, I kind of bop with this. It was on a Now That's What I Call Music CD, was Workout by J. Cole. And I do an acoustic cover every time I do an open mic. Dude, I don't know what it is, man. Like, obviously at that age, whenever I heard it, I didn't understand it. But growing up or whatever, and now listening to a lot of J. Cole, Power Trip is another one of my favorite songs by him. So that's my number 1 favorite rapper. Second is probably, it's between 2 people. So technically it's like a top 4. It's between Logic and a guy named Watsky.
Logic is iconic.
Logic is so good because here's the thing is, Logic is one of those rappers where he calls himself out, but he calls out the entire industry for the same crap. And here's the thing is, an artist that can be humble and, call themselves out, I mean, that's another reason why this isn't particularly a rapper. He is kind of, but like The Weeknd, I love The Weeknd, is he's not about his image. He's all about his music. And my third favorite rapper is probably, I really like NF. Like, here's the thing is, same thing with Logic where he calls people out. If you listen to NF for the most part, you wouldn't know he's a Christian rapper, but a lot of his messages targets everybody, here's the thing is like, I'm very accepting of people from all walks of life, and although he is a Christian rapper, he preaches, or like, not preaches, God, now it's going to sound like a whole Christian thing, but like, just because he's a Christian artist doesn't mean that he's dealing with different things than you and I, or whatnot. Like, he has a song called, damn, I'm going to look it up real quick. But Lauren, you go ahead and start telling me about your.
I'm trying to find this one artist that is like really good at telling stories. I know he's like sadly passed away now, though. I do like Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar is pretty good.
I think he's super talented, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And just his writing and the stories he tells.
Here's the thing is, okay, I don't like every Kendrick Lamar song, but I will.
I'm gonna look for this other
go
rapper.
Ahead. So I like "Pray for Me" with The Weeknd by Kendrick Lamar. DNA is really good. I'm gonna look up on here because this is the best part about having my iPad up here. Kendrick. Forbidden Fruit with J. Cole. Dude, what a song. Humble's really good. I have a couple other songs, like I'm not particularly, I just have it because it was part of the album. The Mantra, which was from Creed 2. Don't Want to Know by Maroon 5 with Kendrick Lamar. That's a pretty good one. But here's the thing is, whenever I heard Forbidden Fruit, it's like two of my favorite, like, I wouldn't say Kendrick's my favorite, but like he really goes hard in that song. Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. One song, okay, so with Watsky is a little bit different. He's not your traditional rap. He has a song called Moral of the Story and a song called Cannonball. I would love to play some of his music on here. I don't know how copywriting works and stuff, but I'll see. I'll check it out and see. I'll plug the songs that I've mentioned today down in the description of the video on Friday.
What is? I think it's King Von.
King Von.
Yeah.
Is that
his are very, yeah, it is King Von. I do like his songs.
And obviously, here's the thing. And now, whenever I put my top list, obviously I'm not going to mention like everybody's favorites like Eminem or Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I mean that's just a given. I feel like
if I had to choose
people,
like a really big name, I guess Logic is pretty, like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole are pretty
and like
big.
Eminem.
But Ludacris, he's the only rapper I've seen in concert. Ludacris to this day, because of the Fast and the Furious, had to put his whole career, his music career, on hold for 11 years, dude. Imagine not being able to perform for 11 years, and that's like your passion. He was like, obviously, I'm sure he's passionate about acting, but Ludacris is a rapper thick and thin through his blood. So, Ludacris, he's got a great story. He tells good stories. He does kind of, give off like the traditional, like, same rapper story, but Ludacris does it in his own way,
Yeah.
Like, and his songs are funny too, like Area Codes. Area Codes will go down as one of the funniest songs, or My Chick. My Chick was one of the first songs. I remember I was in elementary school and it came on the radio. And I don't have a lot of memories with my dad when I was super young, but I remember me and him like making fun of that song, like, cause at a young age I did kind of understand some of that stuff. It's like, but I would crack up whenever we get to the lines like, it's like all white top, all white jeans, all white belt, body looking like milk. Like it's just funny stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
it's just stupid. And as a kid, I remember like, I would try and imitate him with my high-pitched
and they don't take
puberty
it too
voice.
seriously as well.
But yeah, no. So again, dude, okay. I think the topic, like the overall uniting factor of this episode, is totally gonna be music. I think that's what we're gonna name this episode, is something having to do with music. I think it's been a good episode.
Yeah, I think so too.
We had a lot of great guests today. I'd like to thank all of our guests. Again, I want to thank Tiave Tees. That we love having them as a sponsor. Thank you, Nocturne Tees. Thank you for everybody that participated. Seriously, this podcast is for you guys. I think we have time for one more guest. All right, come on, Micah. Come on, everybody, give it up for Micah.
Woo!
This is gonna be our last little. We're gonna give him a speed run, Micah. Okay, you have 30 seconds.
See me sit over here.
Yeah, you go sit over there. Go sit over there. Okay, so I'm not gonna. You already know one of the questions. But I'm gonna speed run through this. I'm gonna give you 6 questions, and you have to answer each question in 30 seconds. All right. Which do you like better, Xbox or PS5, and why?
Xbox, and I would say that's just because I've grown up playing.
Oh, he's
Xbox,
grown up.
You know?
He's throwing shade.
I've grown up playing Xbox.
Okay, he grew up playing Xbox.
Memories.
Okay. Do you drink your kava with or without creamer, and why?
Without creamer, and I feel like it's just a little bit more traditional, and you're kind of just doing it the way that it's really meant to be done.
I will say, like, again, I say it every now and again. I'm not drinking kava and kratom for the effects. I'm drinking it for the flavor. But whenever you do have a traditional show, like the first time you ever have a bula call, there's nothing more inviting and togetherness. Like, you never feel more connected with everybody around you than your first bula call.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question for the this or that. Would you like to see more exploration of, the ocean or outer space?
For me personally, I feel like the ocean. I mean, space seems like a great place to explore, but I feel like there's just so much of Earth that we haven't seen yet. I feel like we should completely explore Earth before we actually venture out into space and understand ourselves and the world more.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to go on to what we asked the people that we interviewed today. What about kava bars got you intrigued?
Honestly, I would say the community and all the friendships and people that you meet, you know? I mean, you never know who you're going to meet until you come in here, and when you walk in,
you never
see
know.
all the happy faces and everybody just feeling good, and everyone's so friendly. It just kind of feels like family when you walk in, and I feel like that's something that really got me deep into the community.
Okay, good answer. Now, I'm curious to see if you remember, because I really don't remember. Just one day you showed up into my life. Where did we first meet? I'm assuming EGAD, because I know I probably met you at Joint. I know, like, we really clicked at Joint, but I know because whenever I seen you at the Joint, you had said, "Yo, Mikey, what's up?" And I was like, "Oh shit, what's his name?"
That's so funny.
But like we had like those passing conversations at EGAD. So I guess really where we met was at the joint now known as Chameleon.
Yeah, that's when we definitely really got connected. But for sure, I'm pretty sure it was EGAD as well.
I think I think one day I had stayed whenever. So one thing that they do at EGAD is they stay open a little bit later or whatever. Like they leave the patio open, everybody hangs out. But like all the kava tenders from kava bars around the county kind of come together and we just talk about our day. And I think that's where me and you had like a real conversation for the first time.
Yeah, and I always absolutely love those late nights that you get too. I mean, that's when you really build like the close relationships. I mean, there's only X amount of people there versus like here, so many
like it's
people
packed out.
here. You really get to have like, those deep and intimate conversations and really get to know who it is that you're talking to.
I gave you a little extra time on that one just because that's a little more personal. Yeah. All right, now for your final question, what keeps you coming back to a kava bar?
I think for me personally, I would have to go back to the answer kind of just being like the family atmosphere that you get when you're coming in here. I mean, you always get so many familiar faces, so many people that you get to catch up with, you know, I mean, like.
Dude, that's the best part about coming in here, especially, I mean, I know you can relate to that working here, is that, dude, every time I come in here, at least 10 to 15 people know who I am. And at this point now, I mean, now that we're doing the podcast and you're being here, like, dude, every single time I walk in here, I just yell the word, yo, really loudly.
And like 15 people
and 15 people like go, yo, back. And there's just, you know, it really is like, it's just that family unit that you have here in a kava bar. And like right now, dude, compared to the first episode, we had a lot of support for our first episode. We had like 30 people. Right now, this bar probably has a good 50 people in it. Like, I mean, and a lot of them are active or watching, and a lot of people are watching right now on the live stream, which is crazy. We haven't ever had, like, a lot of people watch the live stream. They usually watch the episode when it posts up on Friday.
That is amazing.
And that's just one thing that, you know, that it's just, I don't want to go home. Like, this is my home, and I want to be here. That's why I'm out here as many days as I am. That's why I'm in kava bars. Like, if you guys see my own Instagram page, I posted the only day of the week I'm not doing an event is Saturdays and Sundays, and even Sundays I'm still out here for poker and poker and chess. Like that's the thing is like you will never be bored in a kava bar. I know we talked about this last time, but if you come to a kava bar and you're bored, bro, you're just not a fun person. There's something for everyone, everywhere, at every kava bar.
I would agree with that, and that's like honestly super amazing too, because I mean just like the fact that. You know, I feel like it's very family-oriented. Once you get to know everybody says hi to you. But the fact that they're willing to actually support you in, like, any of the goals that you have. Like, you're starting the podcast. So many people are here supporting. So many people are watching. And, I mean, it's going good, man. I really enjoy having you here every Monday.
I'm going to give you 2 quick 10-second questions. First one. What are some ways, or what's a way that you choose to relax on? If you have nothing to do and you could choose to do one thing, what would it be?
Sleep.
Sleep? Good answer. I feel like a lot of people are going to relate with that. All right, and your last question. I feel like this question is very good for you because I feel like you have a good taste in rap music. Who is a rapper that you like? Who do you listen to the most if you were to listen to anybody?
Honestly, probably for me, it would probably be NF. Because I feel like he's very real. I mean, he's very deep and personal with himself and his music. And I feel like it's something that a lot of people can actually relate to.
He has a song called Outcast. And, dude, it's just really good, dude. Like, here's the thing. Is like, dude does what I only hope I can reach to do. And I appreciate you coming up here. I want to slip in here for the last few seconds. Everybody give it up for Micah.
Woo. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, I'll get Lauren back up here for the last few seconds. Love you, Micah. Well, guys, thank you so much for staying with us as long as you have. I know this has been a longer episode, but I feel like we really connected today with a lot of people. I mean, some people, it was their first time ever up here, even watching a podcast, being up on here. Shout out to Adam. Adam, it takes a lot of courage to come up here and to do what we do. It's not easy for everybody.
We appreciate everything you guys
honestly,
have to say.
I really don't stage who we pick to come up here. Like, a lot of people, it's their first time and it's just natural. Like, whenever I filmed with Karina, we filmed an episode 2 weeks ago. I had to find some way to get her back up here because, like, it comes so natural to her. She's such a, just genuine person, very great at talking, always easy to converse with.
Yeah.
Same thing
I
with
mean, everyone is really.
Dude, Lily, you killed. Oh, Lily's gone. Lily? I think they're gone. But like Lily and Sky, they're really great.
Yeah.
Tariq, we love.
I mean, everyone we've had up here is phenomenal.
Dude, you really can't go wrong. Again, I want to thank all of you guys. I want to thank Tiave Tees, Nocturne Tees. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Tyler for helping us out today. We couldn't have done it without you. And thank you for everyone that makes this podcast possible. Everybody out here in the crowd, give it up for yourselves. There it is. Well, guys, this has been Breaking Brews, episode 4 here at Nocturne Tees. I'm your host, Mikey, too.
And I'm your co-host, Lauren Olivia.
And thanks, guys, for watching. We'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys for your
Thank you.
your activity. I really appreciate it.